Hello everybody and welcome to my channel, EnergySeedYoga. My name's Amy and welcome to your Valentine's Day class. Whether you celebrate this holiday or not, I'm going to be cheesy and say this class is to light your inner fire. Alright, so for class today, you might want 2 blocks and a blanket, and we are going to begin on our backs with our knees bent and feet flat on the floor. I'll meet you there. So come on down to the ground. The knees are bent, the feet are flat on the floor, the neck is long, so just slightly tuck your chin. You want to make sure it's not pointed up to the ceiling. Just take a nice deep breath in, and then let it softly go, however is comfortable for you. As you let the breath go, you might feel the low back release or the spine just grow heavy and melt into your mat. It may feel good to let your knees fall in towards each other and then maybe heel toe the feet out just a little bit wider. So check in, see what feels best for you. Our focus today is really on how our pelvis and our spine move together, how we can create that fire inside of us. Taking a moment here to settle in. Close the eyes if you feel comfortable. Maybe bring the hands to the belly and just notice the breath. So if you had the feet wider than hip width apart, heel toe them in just slightly. Let's pull the right knee into our chest. Your hands can come behind the hamstring or on top of the shin, whichever is more comfortable for you. Let's extend the left leg to the end of your yoga mat. Let's flex into our toes, so pull your left toes closer towards your face. Keeping this leg active, think about flexing your quad muscle. You're strong, you're confident. On your next exhale, see if you can pull your knee a little closer into your chest. 3 breaths. Keep flexing into your left toes. Good. Now listen carefully. Your left hand will guide your right knee across your body. So we're coming into a twist. Your knee may naturally drop to the floor. If it's just hanging there, grab your block and place your block underneath your knee so you have support. Let the hips stack on top of each other. Maybe that right shoulder rolls onto the floor, and then extend both arms out in a T with the palms up, and let's let our gaze look straight up at the sky. Deep breath in, fill the body with air, feel the rib cage expand, soft let go. Let your legs be soft. On your next exhale, slowly roll that right hip back onto the floor, pulling that knee into the chest. Go ahead and move your block to the other side if you need to. Right foot plants to the floor. Take your time, move slow. Pause here. Just notice how your spine feels, notice how your hips feel. And let's pull the left knee into our chest with your next breath. Again, hands can go behind the hamstring or on top of the shin, whichever feels best for you. Slowly extend the right foot towards the end of your mat. As you do that, pull your toes towards your face. Your quad muscles are active. It's almost as if you were standing upright. Soft exhale. Maybe you pull that knee in closer to the chest with your arm strength. 3 rounds of breath. Soft inhale, filling up the body. Soft exhale, letting it go. All right, listen carefully. Your right hand gently guides your left knee across your body. Let your hips stack. Maybe that top knee lands on the floor. Maybe you grab your block and place it underneath. Both legs are soft. Arms reach to a T. Left shoulder softens to the floor. Gaze is looking up. Palms are up. Let's find that soft breath once again. Slowly roll that left hip back onto the floor on your next exhale. You can move the block off to the side. Left foot plants. Go ahead and plant the right foot. Both knees are bent. And let's just pull both knees into the chest. It's a loose hug here. Really let the low back, your little sacrum, maybe even your tailbone, press it into the earth. Good. Let's take our hands behind our hamstrings, behind the backside of our knees, and grab a hold. We're going to rock up into half boat. So what that means is we're going to rock up onto our booty, and our toes are going to be lifted off the floor, and the crown of our head is going to be reaching towards the sky. So big exhale, pull the knees into the chest. On the inhale, rock forward, sit up tall, don't let the toes touch. Maybe you point them. Keep breathing here. Maybe you can release your hands and reach your fingertips forward. Point the toes forward. Take your chest, lift it up. Breathe here. You got this. We're breathing into our half boat. We're going to alternate toe taps. So the right toes, reach them to the floor, let them kiss the mat, and take it back up. Keep sitting up tall. Left toes, kiss the floor, back up. Ready? Go at your own pace. Keep breathing. Relax the jaw. Keep sitting up tall. You're building some fire. You're in charge of your passion here. You've got this. On your next breath, cross the ankles and sit up tall. I'm going to turn and face you here. If you'd like to sit up on a blanket, cross the right ankle in front of the left, coming into our easy pose or Sukhasana. Hands come to the knees or the thighs. And let's just rock side to side for a minute. Seeing where our sits bones are, sitting up tall, maybe letting the shoulders fall away from the ears. Good. Let's bring the hands together. Take a big inhale. Let's sweep them out to the sides and up overhead. Exhale, palms touch. Bring the hands down through heart center. Good. Let's try that again. Own breath. Breathing in and breathing out. One more time, reaching up and bringing that energy back down into your heart space. So left hand will plant to the floor, or if you're sitting on a blanket, you might want your block because there's a little more height underneath your rear. Left hand plants. On the inhale, sweep the right arm out to the side, up overhead, and then reach over to the left. Maybe your right hip pops up this time. That's okay. On the exhale, let's switch. You can even take your block into the opposite hand. Block comes down to the floor, right hand comes to the block or the floor. Sweep the left hand up if it was not already, and then reach. Maybe let the left hip pop up. So think of the left and the right side of the pelvis moving together. Let's not try and pin anything down today. Good, big exhale, left hand comes down. Let's move the blocks off to the side. Lean the hands back behind you, and then plant the feet to the floor. Feet are about shoulder distance apart. We'll take some windshield wiper legs here. So whatever side you'd like to start with, drop your knees to your favorite side. Let the opposite hip pop up. And then switch. Drop the knees to the opposite side. And let that opposite hip pop up. A few more rounds of these. Back and forth. Back and forth. Just seeing how the hip moves, how the spine moves, how the pelvis moves. Perfect. Finding a little moment of stillness. Sit all the way up and come to tabletop shape. So if your knees are sensitive, I'll go ahead and use the blanket. Why not? Go ahead and place the blanket underneath your knees and come on down to your tabletop shape. So the hands are underneath the shoulders, the knees are roughly under the hips. I like to curl my toes under. It helps give me better balance. Plus you get that stretch on the bottoms of your feet. Fingertips are spread wide. Take your time. Really feel this pose out for a minute. Sometimes we forget this is an actual yoga pose. It's just not a transition. Let your gaze look down and just think how long your spine is. Your spine is an S shape, so envision that shape. And then let's start to move through our cat-cows. And today let's articulate through the middle of our spine. So slowly drop the belly, press the heart forward and look forward. Just notice what's happening in your hips. On your next breath, tuck the chin. Pull the belly button in towards your spine, letting your spine lift towards the ceiling or sky. Good. Drop down into your cow, belly drops. And just start to move at your own pace. See what feels good in each shape. Good. Coming back down to your neutral tabletop shape. Uncurl those toes, and we're going to grab a block. Bring the knees together. Place the block on top of your calves, and we're just going to sit on our block. Let's shake out the wrists here. Give our hands and our little wrist joints some love. So shake them out. Go ahead and flip your left palm forward, or so it's facing up, and then take the fingertips down. So now your palm is facing forward. Your opposite hand, your right hand, is going to reach across the top. Do not forget your thumb. You're going to place your hand across all 5 digits, and then just pull back to what's comfortable for you. Good. Release, and then let's just flip it. So now let's take the palm to the floor, and then the fingertips down. Opposite hand applies a little bit of pressure on the back. Good, let's switch. Woohoo! All right, right palm is up. Take the fingertips to the floor. Left hand covers all 5 digits, pulls back. Okay. Good, breathe here. Release, and let's flip. Palm is down, and then fingertips go down. Opposite hand applies gentle pressure. Good. Shake it out. The last thing I like to do, I call this the yoga wave. You're going to interlace your fingertips. Take the elbows wide. Fingertips are wide. And you're just going to wave your wrists around. So go whatever direction feels good. And then slow it down. Let's check our dexterity. And then switch directions. It's going to feel a little bit awkward at first. But give it a go. Be weird. It's fun. And then shake it out. Let's come back down to our tabletop shape. So take the block out. Knees are still on the blanket if you need to. And let's take a bird dog. So let's curl the toes under. Take the knees a little bit wider. Maybe the hands go a little bit wider also, coming into this nice strong tabletop shape. Let's start with the left hand today. Left hand reaches forward as if you're shaking someone's hand. So once you get here and you're on 3 little pegs here of your tabletop, just see what you need. If you feel unbalanced, widen your shape a little bit. Curling the toes under helps the balance. When you're ready, slowly extend the right toes to the back of your mat. Keep finding your balance. And on your next breath, lift that foot up. You may only lift the foot up 1 inch, maybe it's 1 foot, but you've got this. The weight in your right hand, you're pressing down into the knuckle pads of your fingertips so you're not dumping all the weight into your heel of your wrist. Exhale, hand comes down, knee comes down. Ooh. All right, we're going to switch it right away. Right hand extends as if you're shaking someone's hand. Find your balance. Widen your base. Build a solid foundation. Then when you're ready, left foot extends to the back of the mat. Toes touch first. See how you feel here. Then when you're ready, lift that back foot up to your comfort level. So you're breathing here. Imagine all your energy being pressed out through the back heel like you're kicking the back wall. And all of your other energy is reaching or shooting out of your fingertips like a superhero. Your core is strong. Breathing here. You've got this. Exhale. Knee comes down. Hand comes down. Big toes come together. Send the hips back for a child's pose. So as you come down, you may want to block underneath your forehead. And just take your time here. If you want to roll your wrists out a few times, make fists, jazz hands. Take what you need. Good. Inhale, slowly start to come up. So we're going to move our blocks off to the side. We are going to slide our blanket out of the way. From here, we're going to drop our forearms and our palms down so our elbows are underneath our shoulders. And then we're going to walk our feet to the back of our mat for a forearm plank. You might need to take the feet wide. Flex your armpits here. See if you can lift up and out of your shoulders. Breathing here. Extend the energy out through the heels of your feet. We've got this for 3 more rounds of breath. This is it. On the exhale, slowly lower all the way to the belly. Woo-wee. All right, let's slide the hands underneath the shoulders so they should be in line about with your armpits. So just check in here. Your chest is lifted and your gaze is looking down at your mat. Just see where your legs are out at. Maybe you move them a little wider or maybe you bring them in. I just want you to check in with how your pelvis and your tailbone and your low back feel. Good. So from here, on the exhale, bring the forehead to the mat. We're going to do cobra lifts here. So what that means is we're going to engage our core, we're going to squeeze our booty, and we're going to glue the tops of our feet to the mat. So our lower body is strong. On the inhale, lift up the heart off of the mat. Look forward. And then here's the fun part. Lift your hands off of the earth 1 inch so they're hovering here. Making this cobra pose very active. Letting you know you're using your back muscles. Exhale, hands come down, forehead comes down. Let's do that again. Engage the lower body. You're strong. And come up. Hover the hands. Exhale, come down. One more. Come on up. Exhale, forehead down, hands down. This time we'll take your version of cobra. So this time we will put the weight into our hands. Roll those shoulders back. The lower body is engaged. On the inhale, this time press your weight into your hands and lift your heart up. So you may be able to lift up a little bit higher. Check in with your low back. You never want to have any pain. Maybe you're staying here. Maybe you can lift all the way up. Wherever you're at, breathe. You're looking forward. On the exhale, let's find child's pose. So press up, big toes come together, hips go back. You can walk the hands closer to you, let the forehead come to the mat or block a blanket or even stacked fists. Two more rounds of breath. Take a minute here and really think about your spine. How's it feeling? Good. On your inhale, let's come up to tabletop. Knees under hips. Let's walk the hands like one paw print, one hand print forward. Fingertips are spread wide and pointed towards the front of your mat. Let's curl the toes under. And then send the hips up to the sky, keeping a bend in the knees. So take a moment here to find your best down dog. Press your hands into the mat as if you're pushing your mat away from you. Let your gaze look through your legs, through your knees. And then play with your foot stance here. Maybe try putting your toes together. See how that feels, keeping those knees bent. Maybe take the feet as wide as the yoga mat. See how that feels. Somewhere in between might be your magic number today. Pedal into the feet by bending deeply into one knee and then the other. Inhale, look forward between the hands. And then walk your feet up towards your hands, keeping a real generous bend in your knees, so much that your hands can touch the floor. So you might be in a huge squat. When you get to the top of your mat, though, let's root to rise. So press all your weight into your feet. Sweep the arms out to the side and up as you stand all the way up. Arms sweeping overhead, palms touch on the exhale. Let the hands float down to your heart space. Pausing here, exhaling, letting the hands reach towards the floor. The palms shine forward. Mountain pose. Just noticing your breath here. So we're going to take a couple standing twists. I'm going to have you step your feet about a little wider than hip distance width apart. So maybe like 8 inches or so. Let's have a bend in the knees. And then let's take our hands to our waist. So we're just going to do a little bit of twisting here. So I'm going to let you twist to whatever side feels comfortable. But when you twist, you're going to bend into your knees and you're going to let both hips swing. So don't try and pin one back. Just go back and forth, bending into the knees, making it nice and soft. Letting your body rotate to whatever rotation is comfortable. So do what I'm telling you to do is just be natural in a twist. As you breathe and twist, let's start to move our hands up towards our shoulders. Elbows are wide. Just notice how this changes the twist. Notice if you need to change your feet stance. Keep breathing here. And let's take our hands behind our ears. Notice if this changed anything. Good. Start to slow it down. The hands slowly come down to mountain pose. Fingertips reach to the floor. Palms shine forward. Look down. Just notice where your feet are. Are you in your most comfortable standing position? If not, make the adjustment. Then on the inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. On the exhale, bend into the knees, hinge at the waist, forward fold. Reach the hands towards the floor or your blocks. Crown of the head is reaching towards the floor, so you're looking between your legs to keep the back of your neck long. Good. On the inhale, lift up halfway. So if your hands are on the blocks, allow your body to look like a number 7 or letter L. If you're not using blocks, maybe your hands are on the floor, your shins, your knees, or your thighs. Good. On your next breath, though, forward fold, planting the hands down. Step the right foot all the way to the back of your mat, and then drop the back knee for a nice low lunge. So again, if you've got sensitive knees, you've got a chance here to grab a blanket and put it under your back knee. So here we are in a lunge. Let's stack our knee over our ankle, just for easy purposes today. Our hips are generally squared forward, and our hands are going to come to the waist. Your back foot, the toes can be curled under if you like that stretch, or the toes can be flat on the ground. You decide. So, finding our foundation first, building our solid ground. If you are already feeling wobbly here, the front foot, move it out to the left. Right away, you widen your base. So we're going to do a little bit of breathing here. Let's give ourselves a hug. Let's take the heel of our hands and put it into the side of our ribs, and then just allow our hands to hug around the front part of our rib cage. As you're doing this, you're squeezing your ribs just a little bit, creating a little bit of constriction here. Exhale, squeeze. On the inhale, breathe in. Fill up your diaphragm, fill up your rib cage. It's going to expand your hands just a little bit. On the exhale, let it go and let the hands move a little closer together. So let's try that 3 times. Let it go, exhale, little hug with the hands. Inhale. Two more. In and out. Last one. As you let it go, sweep the arms up overhead. Your left wrist is going to grab, your left hand is going to grab your right wrist. So inhale, lift up. On the exhale, let's lean to the left. So the goal here is to stretch this whole right side of your body. It's not about how far you can lean to the left. So you're lifting up and then over. Good. Big exhale, release. Hands plant to the floor. And let's step into a downward facing dog from here. So hands plant, lift the back leg up. Front foot steps to the back of the mat. Good. So bend into those knees. Your right knee might feel a little bit, I don't know, might feel that weight that we had on it. Good. So we're going to walk to the top of our mat again. You can step right over your blanket if you need to, or step on it. When you get to the top of your mat, inhale, lift up halfway. Nice, long, strong back. On the exhale, plant the hands. This time we're going to step the left foot all the way to the back of the mat and drop the back knee. Front knee is stacked over front ankle, and let's come up. So let's find our nice, strong foundation here. If you need to move the front foot to the right side, if you need to curl the back toes under. Good. So finding your best low lunge. Let's give our ribs another hug. Heels of the hands right into the rib cage. Squeeze your rib cage together as you pull your fingers together. Exhale it all out. Inhale, breathe it in. Really breathe into your ribs. Feel your hands expand and contract. Good. Next breath. Sweep the fingers up towards the sky. This time the right hand grabs the left wrist. Lift up on the inhale. On the exhale, lean to the right. Remember, we're stretching the left side body. It's not about bending far to the side. It's lifting up. You've got this. Inhale up, exhale. Hands plant to the floor, and let's step into our down dog from here. So lift the back leg up. Front foot goes to the back of the mat. While you're here, slide your blanket out of the way. So bend into your knees for your down dog, finding the best one that works for you this time around. And this time, let's walk our hands and our feet together so we end up in the middle of our mat. Roll all the way up to your mountain pose. So we're going to work into a little bit of some standing stuff right now. So if you need a wall or a chair for balance, feel free to grab that. Otherwise, let's come into a one-legged Tadasana. Let's take the hands to the waist. One-legged mountain pose. On the inhale, let's lift the right knee up. Holding here. So this is your baseline. Just notice if you're already wobbly, if this just doesn't feel comfortable. Notice if you're solid. Notice if maybe you're a little bit of both. If you need the wall, reach out for the wall. Paul the wall is always a good helper. So we're going to take some circular articular movement here. So let's take the knee out to the side, and then down, and then back up. So we're making a real big circle. You can even use your hand to guide your knee if you'd like. Trying this a few times. Maybe you need the wall, maybe you don't. And we're going to come right into tree pose. So next time your knee goes out to the side, hold it here for just a moment. Let your gaze focus on something that you can concentrate on, and then slowly bring your lifted foot to the inside of your standing leg. Hands can come to the heart center. Keep finding that focal point, your drishti point, something that you are fixated on. Of the standing legs, stand up a little bit taller. On the exhale, find mountain pose. Both feet are together. Fingertips are reaching down. Palms are shining forward. Great job, guys. We're going to do that on the other side. So if you were using the wall, you can just flip sides. If you were not using anything, you guys got it. So this time, left knee comes up. Find your balance first. So if you weren't sure if you needed to use a wall before, here you go. If you need it, go for it. Let's take those movements. Maybe you use your hand. Let the knee go out to the left side, back and down. Take it up, out, down. You've got this. A few more. All right, next time that knee comes out to the left side, slowly bring that lifted foot to the inner thigh, maybe inner knee, very gently, or inner calf or inner ankle. Stand tall through that right leg, lift up, out through the heart. You've got this. Exhale, mountain pose. Come to the top of your mat. You may have moved around. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up to the sky, and then exhale, bring the hands to heart center prayer. So we're going to go into a really deep squat here and then come onto our backs. So let's squat into our knees, come all the way down. Maybe your heels lift up and you're on your toes. You've got this. So we're slowly going to lower our booty to the floor. This may or may not be graceful for you. You can let your knees come out wide. You can drop your hands to a block or the floor as you lower your booty down. Come on down to the booty. Bring the back down to the ground. Knees are bent. Feet are flat on the floor. Oh, you know what? Bring your block with you. Grab your block. All right, so we're going to take our block in between our thighs on the skinny height. Squeeze them together. Walk your heels in towards your booty just a little bit, just so you have some leverage. Then reach your fingertips towards your heels. So here's the fun part. I want you to snuggle your shoulder blades underneath your shoulders. This helps prop your heart up. So if you watch my chest, if you're like, what the heck are you talking about, Amy? I'm going to snuggle one shoulder blade and then the other underneath my back. So my heart is now lifted up. So if it's out, my back is flat on the floor. Snuggle one shoulder blade and then the other under, and it lifts me up. So we're going to take a couple bridge pumps. On the inhale, squeeze the block, lift the hips, press the heels into the earth. Exhale, come down. Again, up. Squeeze that block and come down. Inhale, take it up. And we're going to hold. You may want to take the bind underneath your back by interlacing your fingers. You can crawl your shoulder blades underneath your shoulders a little bit more here if you'd like. And breathe. Keep squeezing the block. Think about lifting your chest towards your chin, and then your chin slightly towards the sky. Good. If you had the bind, slowly release the bind. Start to roll the spine back down to the floor, letting the low back, and then the shoulder blades come out from underneath you. Take the block out from underneath you. And pull the knees into the chest. Just give yourself a little hug, taking the forehead as close as you can get it to your knees. Good. Exhale, let the feet plant to the floor. Go ahead and cross the right leg on top of the left. If you'd like to take the double bind by wrapping your toes around your calf, feel free. Arms come out to a T. Palms are up, gaze is up. Drop the knees to the left side of the room. Feel free to use a block underneath your knees. Nice long breath. On your next breath, slowly roll the right hip back down to the earth and then cross the legs. Pause here. Let the spine feel realigned, nice and long. And let's take that twist on the other side. Left leg crosses on top of the right. You can get your toes to wrap around your calf or your ankle. Go for it. Let the knees drop over to the right side. Again, the arms are still out in a T. Palms are facing up. We're keeping our gaze towards the sky today. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Soft breath out. Slowly let the left hip roll back down to the earth and cross the legs. And let's draw our knees back into our chest one last time. Really give yourself a big hug here. Wrap your arms around whatever part of your body that you can wrap. Take your forehead close to your knees or your chest, curling yourself up into the smallest, brightest, most loving love ball. And on the exhale, allow your love to burst you open into your Savasana. The feet can go wide, the arms can go wide. Remembering Savasana is whatever shape you feel the most comfortable and relaxed in. Let's take a moment just to absorb the fire that you cultivated inside your belly and your heart and your mind. Slowly start to bring some awareness back to the body. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, and take a little more movement. Maybe wrist circles, ankle circles. And slowly find that big good morning stretch, reaching the arms up overhead. Reaching the toes far away from you, just growing really tall and long. And then exhale, let your body soften as you roll onto your favorite side for fetal position. Drawing the knees close to your chest, letting your arm and head connect for a little pillow. Breathe in love. And breathe out love. Slowly start to press yourself all the way up into any comfortable shape, any comfortable seated position that works best for you. And we'll seal our practice with 3 intentional breaths. Draw your hands together at your heart center in your prayer mudra, acknowledging the left and the right side of your body, your mind, and your heart. Take a breath for yourself. Take a breath for someone you love. And take a breath for someone who may be suffering. The world could always use more love in it. Thank you, yogis and yoginis, for allowing me to guide you through this practice today on this fine Valentine's Day. The light in me honors and respects the light in you. Namaste.